Hey, what's going on, Who Dat Nation? It is yours truly, TJ Jones, the host of the State of the Saints podcast. And some of you probably thought about starting your very own sports podcast. Well, let me help you out. I want to tell you a little bit about Anchor. Now, if you haven't heard about Anchor, it's an easy way to make a podcast, and it's free. You don't have to worry about paying a bunch of money each month. There are creation tools to allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or your computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you, so you don't have to worry about that. So it can be heard on apps like Spotify and Apple Podcasts and many, many more. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. So go to anchorfm.com and start your very own podcast today. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Hey, this is TJ Jones, the host of the State of the Saints podcast, and I want to take a minute to tell you about POW Audio. Now, POW Audio is going to change your listening experience. You're probably asking yourself, TJ, how is POW Audio going to change my listening experience? Because POW Audio has a revolutionary design, delivers a crystal clear and powerful sound in a collapsible Bluetooth speaker. That's right, collapsible Bluetooth speaker, and is designed for ultimate portability. So check out facebook.com, search POW Audio, or on their website, powaudio.com. That's POW audio.com.
One more time.
Hey, what's going on, Who Dat Nation? It is yours truly, TJ Jones, the host of the State of the Saints podcast. And thank you very much for checking out the pregame show of the State of the Saints podcast. The New Orleans Saints Week 3 matchup on Sunday Night Football. The entire football world will be on the Mercedes-Benz Superdome tonight as the New Orleans Saints take on the Green Bay Packers. And we're going to be breaking down that game. And also, we're going to be taking phone calls as well as video calls from you all. I want to know what you all think about this game. But thank you very much for spending your afternoon with us. And, you know, Who Dat Nation, I must say, if you are a Saints fan on this day, you should be absolutely elated. The only icing on the cake would be the Saints actually winning tonight. All right. That would be the biggest icing on the cake. I need y'all to pay attention and understand what had transpired on today. All right. This is what I need you all to understand. The New Orleans Saints, poetic justice has taken place in every single way possible. Let's look at Minnesota, right? We all know about the Minneapolis Miracle back in 2018, right? We know about that, right? Kirk Cousins had to throw a Hail Mary to Adam Thielen only for it to be intercepted to seal the deal for a Vikings loss, right? You look at the Atlanta Falcons, right? The Atlanta Falcons have been trolling the New Orleans Saints fan base for years. Always putting up that Stephon Diggs catch, right? That's what they've been doing. How ironic that the play to put the Chicago Bears back into the game was the same exact play that the New Orleans Saints gave up. I mean, honestly, the only difference is it was on the right hash mark for the Saints. It was on the left for the Falcons. It is unbelievable. The same play, like the guy caught the ball, put his hand on the ground and keep his balance to run into the end zone. Unfreaking believable. And to top it all off, for the second week in a row, the Atlanta Falcons have blown a big lead. And now you look at the late slate games, the Dallas Cowboys are losing. So, as a New Orleans Saints fan, how can you possibly be upset here this afternoon? The icing on the cake would be the New Orleans Saints getting a victory over the Green Bay Packers. Oh, yeah, and I didn't even mention this. How ironic. 2018, the NFC Championship game, the controversial 9 call, right? The refs did not call pass interference when Roby Coleman hit Tommy Lee Lewis. Poetic justice took its rightful place yet again. This time, the Rams would call pass interference by one of their defenders in order for the Buffalo Bills to get a go-ahead lead to win the game over the Rams. How in the hell, as a Saints fan, would you be upset today? I have absolutely no idea. The icing on the cake, Who Dat Nation, would be the New Orleans Saints beating the Green Bay Packers. I mean, come on, man. Minnesota got theirs. Rams got theirs. Falcons got theirs. Cowboys getting theirs. How could you be upset right now? Honestly, how in the hell, if you're a Saints fan, could you be upset right now? We're going to go to Jerry Poor. Man, what's going on, Jerry? Jerry, you're muted right now. Hey, what's going on, man?
I got to say this. There's an old saying, birds of a feather flock together. Unless you the Atlanta Falcons.
Look, Jerry, this is the OG of the State of the Saints podcast, folks. This is Jerry Poor. He's been holding down for the State of the Saints podcast for I don't know how long. Jerry, how you doing, man? How do you feel for the second week in a row? The Atlanta Falcons blowing a big lead. Your thoughts, man?
Man, look, I'm feeling good. Now, look, just like last week when they was up 26 or 29 to like 10.
Uh-huh.
And Dallas came all the way back.
Right.
And pulled the New England Patriot comeback and beat them by 1 point. Almost kind of similar to what happened today against Chicago.
Right.
All they had to do was hold the lead and win the game. But common sense say the Chicago Bears came out of nowhere and beat them by 4 points. And that is the reason why the Falcons are 0-3 as of now.
I love it, man. And first off, I just want to say bear down to all the Chicago Bears fans out there. Thank you so much, Chicago. Thank you, Trestman. Thank you, Coach Trestman, for getting rid of Mitch Trubisky and putting in Nick Foles. Thank you so much. We really do appreciate it here in the Who Dat Nation. We're like, honestly, thank you so much, man. I like I said, I don't understand. Like, as of right now, the game has not been played by the New Orleans Saints and the Packers. I don't see why any New Orleans Saint fan would be upset at what has transpired up to this point. I promise you, man, it's crazy. It's like the universe just said, man, we just gonna go ahead and we just gonna give the Saints their day. That's what it looked like. Like, honestly, every single solitary situation, every team that has been a thorn in the side of the Who Dat Nation and has been causing us pain and frustration has lost or is losing. Like, how could you be upset? But, Jerry, thank you so much for the phone call. Thank you very much, OG, man. I appreciate it, man.
Not a problem, TJ.
All right. Take care, man.
You too, man.
All right. Yeah, man, we're going to go to Quinn right now. Quinn, what's going on, man? How you doing, Quinn?
Man, what's down, brother?
Yeah, what's going on, man? What you got for me?
Man, I told you, we just talked about this last time. I told you, don't panic. I told you we were going to get ours, man. I told you. I already told you what was going to happen, man. We about to go crazy that day.
Yeah.
they about to unlock that dog today. Drew Brees about to go crazy.
Yeah,
You already
man.
know what's going on, man. You already know. You know.
Yeah, man. I see you, man. Got the Who That Nation hoodie on, man. Repping long and strong right there, man. But how you see this game going tonight, man? You got a prediction? You got a score? What you got for me?
Let me check. Let me look at something real quick. Okay, I see it being like. I give it like 14-28.
Okay, 28-14, New Orleans, right?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, man. Nothing wrong with that, man. Like I said, this.
You got to think about it. We still strong in the run game. It don't matter what's going on. We still good in that run game. All we got to do shut that run game down, make Aaron Rodgers throw the ball like how he throw. We good.
Right. Well, I hope you're right, man. I hope they, get that victory tonight. No doubt about that, man. But
when next time you be going live about it, like after the game, you do it.
Oh yeah, man. Immediately following the game, man. We still gonna be live, man. We live right here, and we gonna be live after the game, man. So
all right, I'm gonna
feel free to check back in, Quinn, man. You already know, man. You call back anytime, man. You already know, man. It is what it is.
All right, bet.
All right, take it easy, Quinn.
Yeah, you too, man.
All right, man. Who that? Yeah, man. Shouts out to Quinn, man. You know what I'm saying? Quinn called last week. He called today. So, man, shouts out to him, man. He got the Saints winning 28-14. Got prime time. Prime time. What's going on, man? What's happening?
What's up? I'm TJ. How you doing, man?
Man, I'm good, man. We're ready to talk about this Green Bay Saints game, man. What you got for me?
TJ, please do not record the game. Because we need this game, man. We need to show it. We can't lose this game, TJ. Please don't call the game, man.
Hey, man, I will not record the game, man. My wife is at home. Y'all don't have to worry about picking her up. You know what I'm saying? My car is fresh out of the shop. So I'm good, man. I got no excuses. I can watch this live just like y'all. Have natural reactions just like y'all.
That's good, man. I love that, man. I love that. And I want to say one thing. Mm-hmm. Drew Brees going to be having a fabulous game today. I'm telling you. I feel it. I feel it.
Yeah, that's man. Hey, man, give me a score, man. What you got for me?
I think it'll be a low scoring game. I think it'll be 21-17.
Okay, all right.
Defensive 21-17.
Okay, defensive battle, man. Nothing wrong with that, man.
Yeah, defensive battle.
Hey, before you go prime time, I gotta ask you, man. Atlanta Falcons blowing a lead for the second week in a row.
Man, they can't say nothing to us, man. Like when they say so, I just gotta turn my head, bro. Because man, it's over with for them. It's over. It's over with.
Over with. Dan Quinn is through. Dan Quinn is through, man. It's
gotta
over
be.
with.
It gotta be, man. It's over, man. But man, I love your podcast, man. Keep doing what you're doing, man. I'm gonna be watching you every time you go live, man.
Man, prime time, I appreciate it, man. Call back anytime, brother. You already know, man.
I appreciate it.
And thank you for holding it down, man, since day one, bro. Appreciate it.
Oh, you know that, man. You know that.
All right. Take care, man.
All right, you too.
Yeah. Hey, man, we're gonna go on to the last Saint, man. The last Saint, what's happening, man?
What's going on, man? Love your channel, man. Been watching you since like 3 years ago.
Man, I appreciate that, bro. Appreciate that, man. Much love to you, man. Hey, man, we talking Green Bay, New Orleans Saints, man. What you got for me?
Shootout, man. Both defenses are gonna get smoked in the first half. Like I can already see. I can see Aaron Rodgers going off deep ball, and I can see Drew Brees going off. Not deep ball, but a lot of medium passes in the backfield.
Right.
I think it'll come to the very, very end. That 2-minute drive depends on who's got the ball last. I feel like this would be a 49ers game last year. Wow. Whoever has the ball last wins the game.
All right. Wow, man. So you got a shootout. Give me a score, man. Give me a score of this shootout.
41, 37. Either way, I don't know.
Okay. Hey, man. I mean, you got a shootout. Hey, I mean, honestly, man, everything that we've seen up to this point, I mean, I can't deny that, man. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game myself. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm just saying, I'm glad, this is we're finished with the first 2 weeks because, our first 2 weeks for the past, 3 or 4 years have been horrible.
Right.
So this is the time where we get into double-digit wins. We go on a streak or whatnot because, a lot of teams are starting to win their games, a lot of undefeated teams right now. And I'm just glad that the loss we had was only an AFC loss.
Right.
Because a lot of these teams might turn out 13-3. Right. And, and you got a seven spot for the wild card. So.
Right. Yeah, man. I mean, you're looking at the NFC as a whole right now, man. Nobody really standing out for the exception like the Seahawks. You see the Arizona Cardinals. I mean, they doing their thing. But besides that, man, in the NFC, man, you don't really see too many teams out there, like flexing their muscle. But look, I gotta ask you though, man. Atlanta Falcons, second week in a row. Anybody that calls, be prepared to answer this question. For the second week in a row, Atlanta has blew a lead, man. Your thoughts on that, man? Please.
Look, not to plug my channel, but I made 3 videos in a row because I could foresee it coming.
Mm-hmm.
Look, Falcons had double-digit lead. They had 16 points. Nick Foles should have had 5 TDs, but that wide receiving core is garbage. Nick Foles went off, man. Like that those deep throw passes, that's what got him injured when he started in Jacksonville, man.
Right.
I knew it was about to happen. Matt Ryan name matches him perfect. Matty Ice, no ice in his vein at all. He just freezes. That's why I be telling Falcons fans, man, look, don't start going off with these shootouts, getting these 20-point leads, man. Start from the back and then work your way up because Dan Quinn, they don't know how to call offenses, man.
Right.
And Kyle Shanahan, he gone. So
yeah, man, over with, man. Like it's unbelievable for the second week in a row. Like honestly, your natural emotion last week, you can plug and play, and that's your natural emotion this week. It's unbelievable. I used the same tweets from last week to describe my feelings this week when it comes to Atlanta Falcons. Hey, man, but I heard you had a channel, man. Look, this is how we do it here, man. It's much love. Go ahead and plug your channel, man. Let everybody know how they can get in touch with you and let them know what you're doing, man.
Yeah, man, I'm The Last Saint. As you can see my name on here, I post a lot of Saints content. I also post a lot of football, too. I really just clown other people's football teams, especially the Eagles, man, because the Eagles are pathetic. Eagles and the Falcons. So.
No fly zone over there at The Last Saint, man. No Falcons, no Eagles, no nothing. Hey, man, are you on YouTube, brother? Are you on YouTube?
Yeah, of course, all the time.
Okay, man. So you're The Last Saint, man. I'm gonna subscribe to your channel, man. Y'all subscribe to The Last Saint, man. Y'all make sure y'all support the brother. You know what I'm saying? Doing this thing. I appreciate you, man. Call back anytime, bro. Take care.
Absolutely, man. Take care. Who that?
All right, who that? Hey, man. Hey, man. There's much love here. Look, if you got a channel, hey, man, look, I'm plugging. You know what I'm saying? No doubt about it. You know what I'm saying? I want to make sure that you get what you deserve as far as, you know what I'm saying, the viewership, subscribers and stuff like that, man. I want your channel to grow and be prosperous. Ain't no hate over here, man. Shouts out to everybody in the chat right now, man. I'm about to start reading the chat. Then we're going to go ahead and get into what I feel like the game is going to be tonight. Let's go ahead, man. A lot was said, man. So we're going to go ahead and start a little bit closer to the bottom here. We got says, we scared to even play this game. We will lose respect if we forfeit. I don't know what that means. Why would we forfeit the game? I don't know. Ernest Williams III says Saints 31 of Green Bay 27. Okay. Well, for those that didn't tune in on yesterday, I got the Saints losing this game. That's right. I have the Saints losing this game 34-31. That's right. I am going to pick the Saints to lose this game because I feel like the Green Bay Packers, what they actually do is the Saints' weakness. All right. I mean, the fact that I feel like Aaron Rodgers is going to be aggressive throwing the ball down the field because he feels like if he throws the ball down the field, all the Saints cornerbacks are going to get pass interference. And honestly, what have we seen for him to not do that? All right. I feel like catching the ball out of the backfield, running in between the tackles with Aaron Jones. I feel like Green Bay is going to be able to do some things. And until the Saints prove otherwise that they can actually stop passes down the field, that they can actually stop passes, and when it comes to the screen game, I ain't got no reason to. You know what I'm saying? So I hope I'm wrong. I don't want anybody to think, oh, man, you're not a Saints fan. You're not real, bro. You're not a real Saints fan, bro. Look, I hope that I'm wrong. Me picking the Green Bay Packers to win this game, I hope that I'm wrong. I hope that I get a bunch of laughing emojis at the end of this game. But I got to call it for what it is. What Green Bay does well, the Saints have suffered and have lacked. And another thing, folks, I got to say this too. I'm watching the Tampa Bay Buccaneers take on the Denver Broncos. And I'm watching Tom Brady, a 43-year-old Tom Brady, throw the ball down the field to all different type of receivers, not just receivers named Chris Godwin, not just receivers named Mike Evans, not just Gronks. I'm seeing him throw it to O.J. Howard. I'm seeing him throw it to Scotty Miller. I'm watching the Dallas Cowboy game. I'm watching them actually throw it to a wide receiver that I never even thought was on a team. I didn't even know this guy. I say that to say this, Who That Nation. How is it that these quarterbacks, Dak Prescott, Tom Brady, how can these guys find these other guys that nobody even heard of and get these guys involved in the game? Yet Drew Brees looked for the same receivers over and over again, not looking for all the other receivers that's out there. How is it that he can't throw a pass to Marquez Callaway? How is it that he can't throw a pass to Deontay Harris? How is it that he can't throw it to Emmanuel Sanders and get him involved? Why is it that it's the same old song and dance by the Saints offense? I have absolutely no idea. And look, Tom Brady is 43 years old, but Tom Brady is still pushing the ball down the field. I don't want to hear anything about Drew Brees and, Drew Brees ain't got no weapons. He ain't got nobody. Look, Tom Brady is getting everybody involved and not just the usual suspects. It is time for Drew Brees to try to get these other guys involved. It is time for Drew Brees to try to push the ball down the field. And if Drew Brees can't push the ball down the field, let's get a quarterback in here who can. Let's try to use Taysom Hill. Let's try to utilize him, trying to push the ball. Let's try to push the tempo, okay? Because I can tell you what Green Bay going to do. I can tell you who that nation. Green Bay is going to start fast. Green Bay is going to try to go out there and try to throw the ball down the field, okay? Because they understand only two things are going to happen. It's rather their receiver is going to make a big play or it's going to be pass interference. And why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you, Who Dat Nation? Why wouldn't you, as an opposing quarterback going up against the Saints secondary, why in the hell when you want to throw the ball down the field? When the Saints have shown you that the cornerbacks cannot turn their head around and they definitely ain't going to get no turnovers. So Green Bay is going to try to push the ball down the field. They're going to try to start fast. They're going to try to get up on the Saints, maybe like about 10 points or 14 points. And they're going to dare Drew Brees to try to take the top off the defense, which he has shown that he's not going to do. He's shown that he's going to dink and dunk you to death, which means that the corners and safeties are going to sit on routes. They're going to allow you to catch the pass, the little 5-yard pass, and they're going to tackle you. And then on third down, they're going to try to blitz Drew Brees. They're going to send Zadarius Smith and Preston Smith right up the middle, exposing the guards of the New Orleans Saints and try to go after Drew Brees. So until the New Orleans Saints actually change the way that they're actually playing offense, why in the hell would I try? You know what I'm saying? Why in the hell wouldn't I pick the Green Bay Packers to win this game? Show me something that I have not seen. Show me something that is different. Show me not the same old song and dance for the last 3 to 4 years. People get mad at me because, man, yesterday, man, I can't believe you picked the Green Bay Packers. Why the hell shouldn't I? What have you seen from the New Orleans Saints except inconsistency when it comes to playing the game of football? For the last 3 to 4 years, it's been inconsistent. It's been inconsistent, folks. It's been inconsistent. It has been, doing just enough in order to get by. Nail biters. Nail biters with teams they shouldn't even be in a game with. Like, honestly, Tampa Bay is blowing out Denver Broncos right now from the last time I seen. What the hell has Tampa Bay done? Excuse me. What the hell has Tampa Bay done except put a team together with spit and glue, right? They just starting to get together. The Saints team has been together about 3 to 4 years. 3 to 4 years. And yet we still dealing with the same issues. Close games. Yeah, they winning these games, but they shouldn't even be close. They shouldn't even be close. So I'm putting Sean Payton on the spot. I'm putting Drew Brees on the spot. They need to come up with a game plan to get these other guys involved. Straight up. All right? Straight up. Because a couple years ago, folks, the biggest Drew Brees supporters have to agree with this. Drew Brees would get every single person involved. It didn't have to just be one person. It wasn't just Marcus Colston out there making plays. It was Marcus Colston. It was Lance Moore. It was Devery Henderson. It was Robert Meacham. It was Dave Thomas. It was so many other guys. So why is it right now that, these other guys, they can't get off the line of scrimmage? Man, that's nonsense. Drew Brees has to trust these guys. Just like Tom Brady is trusting his new receivers, Drew Brees needs to trust his and shouldn't care about the damn completion records and accuracy and throwing the ball on time. Trust your players to make plays, all right? Trust these guys to go out there and get these 50-50 balls. Trust these guys to be able to come down, you know what I'm saying, come down the field in the seam to catch a pass. Instead of you looking, oh, man, I don't think he's going to catch this. Bump that. What the hell are they on the field for? What the hell are they on the field for if you're not going to trust them in order for them to make plays? What I mean, honestly, what's it good to you just to be the technician of all technicians? You know what I'm saying? Efficient of all the efficients. If you're not going to be aggressive, it's time for the Saints to be aggressive because nobody right now is respecting the Saints offense. Go out there, in the words of Birdman, and allow the defenses to put some respect on your damn offense's name. Straight up. Tragic says the narrative has been pushed that the Saints don't have no number 2 wide receiver, but the reality is Breeze was the problem and had a cheat code that masked his weakness with Thomas and Kamara. Tragic, I'm about to say something that may not be popular opinion. Not only is this exposing Drew Brees in certain ways, it's exposing Sean Payton. Because we have to ask the question now, who that nation, is Sean Payton the great play caller that we thought that he was? Is it that he was actually living and surviving off Drew Brees' greatness? Or is he really that good of a play caller? I mean, you have to ask that question because Drew Brees is struggling. Sean Payton is struggling. Right? The offensive play calling is struggling because Drew Brees is struggling. We're paying attention to Drew Brees and we're paying attention to Sean Payton. So you have to start asking yourself the question, is Sean Payton that great of a play caller? And if Drew Brees was to leave, would we have that type of success offensively when Drew Brees was here? Would Sean Payton be able to coach another guy outside of Drew Brees? Because you have to start asking yourself the question. And we see, okay, somebody will say, well, man, we'll look at Teddy Bridgewater. Teddy Bridgewater went 5-0. Yes, he went 5-0. But 2 of those games, they actually ran the same type of offense that Drew Brees actually ran. And that was only 5 games. That's not 5 years. That's not 10 years. That's not, you know what I'm saying, a foreseeable future at all. Okay? That was just a couple games that you look at a guy who played in Minnesota, who played a completely different offense versus what Teddy was playing in New Orleans. So you can't go back to Minnesota and look at his tendencies because Mike Zimmer's offense is completely different than Sean Payton's offense. So I feel like in the process of looking at Drew Brees, in the process of questioning him as in his ability to actually push the offense, you actually have to start looking at Sean Payton and wonder why Sean Payton can join himself to Drew Brees and latches himself on to Drew Brees. Maybe he realizes that Drew Brees is making him much better as a play caller than he actually is. Because Drew Brees can execute his game plan. What happens when, let's see, when you don't have Drew Brees and you don't have that quarterback that can execute your game plan with efficiency and timing, and maybe one of those quarterbacks that may not have the skill set of Drew Brees. So in the process, he's making himself look bad. He's making himself look one-dimensional. He's making himself look like all he has is one wide receiver. And if he had one wide receiver, I'm focusing on him. But if that wide receiver is gone, I ain't got nothing left. Like, look at some of these other offensive coordinators. They get all these other guys involved. Why is it that Sean Payton, the master technician, the master offensive mastermind that he is, why is it that he can't get these other guys involved? And why is it that he can't do anything with other wide receivers besides have them as glorified tight ends, have them blocking for Alvin Kamara, having them chipping for Michael Thomas? If you're that good, these guys should be eating too. You shouldn't have a hungry wide receiver in your offense if you're a great offensive coordinator like everybody's saying that you is. Maybe we were all wrong about Sean Payton the whole entire time. Maybe it's been Drew Brees' greatness the whole entire time, and maybe it has been taken up and making up for Sean Payton's lack of offensive play calling. Maybe it's Drew Brees making something work. Maybe it's Drew Brees the reason why, we've been looking at this offense and be like, man, nobody can stop us. And now Drew Brees is 41 years old. He doesn't have some of the same arm strength, the abilities that he had in his youth. Maybe Sean Payton is getting exposed as a play caller. So that's something that we might need to pay attention to as well, folks. The whole team is struggling. There's enough blame to go around. That bad man Rodgers, shouts out to Interzone, The offense is old. We got to go down the field, TJ. Real talk. Some got to give tonight. Yeah. You got Boosie, you got to be able to get these guys that can take the top off the defense involved. You got to get Deontay Harris involved. You got to be able to get Marquez Callaway involved. You got to get Traquan Smith involved. You can't just be dinking and dunking all night long. Okay? Like, seriously, folks. Like, the biggest Saints fan, you cannot possibly believe that this Saints team can be successful and be a Super Bowl contender by nickel and diamond, penny and coordinate down the field. You cannot. You can love Drew Brees to the day that you die. You can love him. You can talk about everybody. You can infiltrate every Saints group, and anybody that disgraces or talks about Drew Brees or disrespects Drew Brees in any type of way, shape, or form in your eyes, you can say whatever you want about him. But I don't care what you say. If you do not push the ball down the field, if you're not aggressive, if you don't have an offense that a defense has to raise an eyebrow every now and then about, you ain't winning nothing. 3 yards and a cloud of dust is dead. It's dead, folks. Running the football. You know what I'm saying? Like, I talked about this with my big brother, EJ. Shouts out to my big brother, EJ. He out there in California right now on vacation. I talked about this before the show. He said, man, the Saints need to run the football. You know what my response to him was? As much as I am a supporter of the Saints running the football, the Saints offense, the fact that the defense can put 7 in a box, 8 in a box, because they don't respect Drew Brees taking the top off the defense, because they don't respect the fact that him pushing the ball down the field. Why in the hell would you be successful running a football? Because defenses are putting 7 and 8 in the box to stop your quarterback. Think about that, folks. They're putting 7 and 8 in the box to stop your quarterback because they realize that the passes are going to be short and intermediate. So if you run the football, you still got the same type of respect as an Adrian Peterson type runner when he was in his prime, right? They used to load 8 in the box. So the defense is loading 8, 7 in a box all game long to stop your quarterback for those short passes. And now that they're 8 in the box, I mean, what's the worst that can happen, right? They hand the ball off and we have the linebackers up front to be able to stop them. So he's making a defense. I mean, he's making a defense not even second guess. And it's also stopping the growth and the prosperity of your running backs. Because if the Saints had a quarterback that could take the top off the defense, I mean, it opens up the offense for limited possibilities, right? Because defenses have to be aware of your quarterback possibly throwing the ball down the field. It opens up the field, so it frees up a lot of holes for the running backs. Thus, a lot of long yards, you know what I'm saying, 20, 30-yard gains, because there are more holes to open up. But if you line it up 7 and 8 in a box to stop your quarterback for doing those quick 5-yard slants, all you have to do is play 7, 8 in the box all game. So how the offensive players like the running backs and the fullbacks gonna eat? They not. They're not, folks. And see, Ryan says, excuse me, he says we need to play a mobile quarterback with the same scheme. You definitely got to get Taysom involved once again. You got to get Taysom involved. Taysom had no passing plays at all last game. None. Zip. Zilch. Zero. You got to be able to do that. Not only do you need to get Taysom involved in a passing game, you got to get him involved in a running game too. Implement some of the RPOs. You know, like, so that's what I feel like they have to do, because look, Drew Brees is not consistently throwing the ball down the field. Some people will try to, you know what I'm saying, they'll try to, move the goalposts a little bit. They'll say Drew Brees can throw the ball down the field. He can get the ball down the field. But can he get the ball down the field consistently? Can you count on Drew Brees throwing the ball down the field 5, 6, 7 times a game? I didn't see it. Drew Brees went to the podium last week, and they asked him the question about getting the ball down the field. He said, I had 2 looks down the field. Think about that, folks. He said, I had 2 looks down the field, and none of them were there. 2? Huh? Are you serious? 2. Patrick Mahomes probably had 2 in the first half. Russell Wilson probably had 2 in the first quarter. You know what I'm saying? Like, give me a break. No, let me take that back. Patrick Mahomes might have 2 in the first drive. You're talking about 2 of the whole entire game. I need people to think about this stuff, folks, before you start coming and trying to defend Drew Brees and trying to defend the offense and all that kind of stuff. 2 the entire game. That's not good, folks. That's not good. We got to get Latavius Murray involved. Marcus, once again, we can get Latavius Murray involved all game, but if you line it up 7 in the box, it's going to be hard for him to try to get some daylight. But I will say this. He averages about 4 yards a clip. And the fact that he's averaging 4 yards a clip with a 7 to 8 defensive front is pretty incredible, folks. For those that follow football, that's watch football, that's been coaching football, that's played football, you know what I'm talking about. That's pretty incredible. The key to winning is keeping Aaron Rodgers in the pocket. If he scrambles, it's over. You want to be able to get pressure on Aaron Rodgers with a front 4. You don't want to blitz him. You don't want to blitz him because that sets up the man-to-man coverage. And I trust the cornerbacks on the outside to win their matchups, but I don't trust the inside, the middle, the nickel corners in order for them to make plays. So I hope that Cam Jordan and the front 4 can get pressure on Aaron Rodgers in order for them to get some stops. Tragic, thank you very much for the $4.99. He says the Saints have been hustling backwards. Other teams get a wide receiver to take the top off the defense. We run play action to throw tight end screens, no shots downfield. I agree. Nobody respects the Saints offense as far as them throwing the ball down the field. Shouts out to Josh and Jesus. I got you today. I missed his donation last time. Shouts out to Josh and Jesus. He says if Tom Brady 12 can get to a Super Bowl on check down, so can Drew. Look, Josh, I hate to say it, but Tom Brady throwing that ball down the field much more than Drew Brees has. He throwing the ball down the field. I seen a pass he threw to Scotty Miller down the field. I see him trying to be aggressive. I see him trying to trust these wide receivers. I don't see Drew Brees trusting his wide receivers. I think Drew Brees cares more about being efficient right now than he actually cares about throwing the ball down the field. I really do. Like, honestly, if this is your last season, which I know that it is, and I think we all can agree that it is, be aggressive. Who cares? Like, honestly, if you throw the ball down the field, if you throw a 40-yard pass down the field and it gets intercepted, that ain't nothing but a glorified punt. That's all it is. Like, I'm pretty sure the ball is going to be on the opposite side of the 50, so it's nothing but a punt. But at least be aggressive. At least make the defense wonder if you're going to throw the ball down the field. Like, come on, man. Now, give me a break. I hate to say it, but I want Jameis to take a shot at this point. I don't want to get to that point because, like I said, if you go with Jameis, then there's no turning back. There's no turning back, folks. If you go with Jameis, there's no turning back. You got to put him in the game. You got to let him roll with it. I just feel like they need to get Taysom involved. Drew Brees is not like terrible to a point where we like get this guy up out of here. But I do feel like for some of the things that he lacks, Taysom can make up for it. The fact that he can't scramble out of the pocket. The fact that Taysom can fight for extra yards if nobody's open. The fact that Taysom can throw the ball down the field. Okay? Allow Taysom to be used for the things that Drew Brees can't do. Shouts out to Drew Hill, though. That was one of my favorite groups right there. Scott says lining up people in the box hasn't stopped him so far. Yeah, like I said, 4 yards a carry, which is incredible. You know, can you imagine if a defense actually respected the Saints to throw the ball down the field, how successful the running backs would be? Like, honestly, like if we being real, if defenses could respect the Saints throwing the ball down the field, Alvin Kamara probably would have had 100 yards every game this season. But they don't. They don't, folks. But let me go ahead and get into it, man. Let me talk about this game. Let me tell you the keys to victory for both teams. When it comes to the Green Bay Packers, the keys to victory is very, very simple. All right. It's starting fast. All right, so be able to get the ball down the field, 3-step drops. Also, like throwing the ball down the field, taking advantage of your playmakers. Don't know if Devontae Adams is going to play or not, but you still have Lazard and you have Van Der Scantley. These are two guys, one 6'4". I think Lazard is about 6'5", 6'6". So these are big targets right here. You know that they're going to be going towards the middle of the field after what they've seen the Saints do with Darren Waller. So you know they're going to try to pick on Malcolm Jenkins from last week, from what he put on tape. So I look at a lot of big plays down the field, a lot of aggression by Aaron Rodgers throwing the ball down the field. Aaron Jones getting him involved in the passing game as well, taking advantage, of the middle of the field. I think that's going to help them all a lot. And also defensively, like I said, lining your best pass rushers up the middle, trying to take advantage of a young Cesar Ruiz, still trying to figure it out. Nick Easton and Andres Pete is going to, help them. That is why I feel like the keys to victory would be when it comes to the Green Bay Packers. Start it fast, being aggressive down the field, hoping that the Saints make mistakes. When it comes to the New Orleans Saints, their keys to victory would be using the middle of the field. All right, the linebackers of the Green Bay Packers aren't very good. They're not Devin White. They're not Levante David. They're not some of the linebackers that the Saints have seen over the past couple weeks. So this is a game right here, in my opinion, that you might see somebody like Adam Troutman have a coming out party, or a person like Jared Cook be able to eat, because the Green Bay Packers linebackers aren't really that good. On the outside, I just feel like Jair Alexander, who's playing at a high level right now, I think he'll be able to get the matchup on Traquan Smith. He'll probably win that battle. And also when it comes to Emmanuel Sanders, when he's going up against King, I'm pretty sure he's probably going to end up losing that battle due to the fact that, from what I've seen for the last 2 weeks, that Drew Brees isn't trusting him in order for him to actually win some of those passes. You know what I'm saying? And you know that Drew Brees, the thing about it is he don't put the ball in harm's way, and that's the problem. Sometimes he don't put the ball in harm's way. He looks for that check down. This is an Alvin Kamara type game too. The Green Bay Packers suffer against the run. Also, what the Saints try to do in the middle of the field, Alvin Kamara can have a field day. But my biggest issue is, now that Michael Thomas is out, will they be zeroing in on Alvin Kamara and try to make sure that they try to take him out of the game completely? So Latavius Murray, I think he can run between the tackles. I look for Latavius Murray to actually have a big run in this game. I think he's going to have more yards this game than he had all season long. I know that's not saying much, but I feel like Latavius Murray might be able to do some really good things. But at the same time, once again, I have the Green Bay Packers winning this game over the New Orleans Saints. I hope that I'm wrong, but that's what I got. Who that Davis? What's going on, man?
Yo, what's up, TJ?
Hey, man, what you got for me, man?
All right, so I'm over here listening to everything you said, and you're absolutely right. I have nothing against anything you said. My one take is I think the Saints are going to win 33 to. I have them winning 33 to 28.
Okay,
33 to 28, because I feel like after the horrible display in Week 2 versus Las Vegas Raiders, Sean Payton now understands that he needs to move with the game. Having Alvin Kamara out in the flat is not going to work anymore. I remember you commenting on this, I think sometime last week, that this isn't 2017 anymore. They are onto Kamara. They have linebackers that have sideline to sideline speed, and cornerbacks who are watching him get out into the flat. So they need to have Alvin Kamara run up the middle more often between the tackles. We have capable guards, and Easton and sometimes Pete, even though he irritates the hell out of me sometimes, they are capable. They are capable of pushing up into that second level and creating running lanes for Alvin Kamara, for him to use his elusiveness, his balance, and his speed. I think Traquan Smith is going to have another big game. Because last time I was here, I said that he was going to have at least 7 catches, 75 yards. He had 4 for 80. So he's on the right track. And against a secondary like this that is not very good against the pass, I think you're going to see Traquan Smith have that breakout game where he gets, I say, maybe 90 this time. Emmanuel Sanders, I don't think is going to be that much of a factor, because there is still at the end of the day, no matter how accomplished or how skilled you are, when you're a new face coming into this offense, you are not going to pick up on Sean Payton's playbook within a few weeks or to a month. It's just not going to happen. Last season, we had expected that with Jared Cook. He didn't turn it on until maybe 8 weeks or 9 weeks after the bye week.
Good point.
It's going to take time. So I'm not stressing over Emmanuel Sanders. He's going to get it. He's a smart dude. He is a dynamic playmaker. I trust him. Now, my concern with Drew Brees, I don't really have much of a concern because, I was irritated after that performance last week against Las Vegas Raiders. Man, after I watched the film, some of those throws aren't really his fault. That out route to Josh Hill stopped his route. He should have kept running all the way towards the sideline. He should have ran all the way to the sideline. So that really wasn't on Drew. It's just more of a chemistry thing. I think they're going to come in with a sense of urgency, knowing that Tampa Bay is going to obviously beat Denver, and if they don't win, they're going to be behind in the divisional standings. So I think we're going to see a more disciplined team, a Sean Payton play calling that's not trivial, that's not common, and I think they're going to get the upset this week.
Wow. I mean, look, honestly, if the Saints win, I mean, I know what Vegas is saying, but if the Saints win, I mean, to me, it wouldn't be an upset. I mean, these are two good football teams. They both were 13-3 last season. They both came a game away from being a 2 seed or a 3 seed. So, and honestly, a lot of people pick these guys to be on a collision course in the division round of the playoffs. So I wouldn't even call it an upset. You know, like I said, I know I got the Green Bay Packers winning this game, but like I said, I hope that I'm wrong. I can see both sides. Like I said, you made some very compelling points. I understand what you're saying offensively, defensively as well. But, you know, like I said, it's kind of like a flip of a coin. I feel like some of the same issues that plague the Saints plague the Packers. The only difference is at this particular time, when we're talking about quarterbacks, whether you're a big Drew Brees supporter or not, I feel like Aaron Rodgers still has a little bit more left in the tank than Drew. So if it came down to it, throwing the ball down the field, I feel like possibly it's going to be one of those situations where he tries to throw the ball down the field to try to take advantage of some of the mistakes that the Saints secondary has made over the course of the last 2 games, excuse me. Hey, man, but I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. But before I go, you already know I'm going with this. The Atlanta Falcons blowing yet another big lead for the second week in a row. All right. Your thoughts, man, before you go. I'm just saying, everybody that calls a video calls this show, they're going to have to answer this question, so be prepared. Who that Davis? What do you think about the Falcons, man?
Man, look, I hate the Falcons with a passion, but from an objective standpoint, they are offensively, they are a team that can get it done and they can squeak by into the playoffs. But at the end of the day, they have to get it done. They have to get rid of Dan Quinn. I mean,
it's over.
There's no excuse for this. Okay, what was it? A 29-10 blown to Dallas Cowboys. And now you have a 16-point lead in the fourth, and you choke it to Nick Foles in the Chicago. It's unacceptable. Whether Arthur Blank sees it or not, he has to get a dang if that franchise is going to have a turnaround. Their secondary is young, but AJ Terrell and Sam Oliver, they're playing pretty decent. The only thing that needs to change is they have to be able to get 3 and outs and get off the field. That's the only thing. And the play calling is what's limiting them.
Yep. And I mean, what's Dan Quinn's calling card? It's the defense. And also not just Dan Quinn, the GM too. He needs to exit stage left himself. You know, I don't understand how he keeps his job. So I feel like if you get rid of Dan Quinn, you got to get rid of the GM too. But who that Davis, thank you so much, man, for your comments, man. Great points that you're making. Call back anytime, man.
Always. I'll be watching.
All right. Take care, man. Man, shouts out to Who That Davis, man. Great points right there. Got my guy, Optimus. Grind. Optimus, what's going on, man?
Man, what's happening, TJ, bro? Who that? First and foremost, you already know. But I want to piggyback off what you was talking about with the keys to success for Green Bay and for the Saints.
All right.
Green Bay keys to success, get the Saints out the field. Because if our offense is on the field, I feel like we can drive the ball.
Mm-hmm.
And if we can't do that, like if we getting 3 and outs, that's going to be Green Bay's key to success. It's not going to be their offense. It's going to be their defense because our offense ain't clicking. That's how they're going to win the game.
Right.
Nah, if the Saints going to win this game, I done said it plenty of times, bro. You got to protect Drew Brees up in the middle in the interior. Eric McCoy is playing great, but you can't really tell when you got to pick it, like when you got to like help Pete and what the other boy name was?
Nick Easton.
Yeah, when Eric McCoy, when he got to help them, it just break down. And then Brees is like we all know, he's 41. He ain't scrambling, so he either gonna eat that sack or he throwing up ducks. Like that's what it is.
Right.
You go back and look at the film, and I saw that live. But I mean, if we can protect Drew and get other weapons involved early, where they can be viewed as a threat, I feel like that's going to be our keys to being able to push the ball, not all the way down the field, but at least further than, the 10, 15 yards that Drew Brees throwing the ball.
Right. Yeah, man. I mean, I just feel like, they definitely got to be able to protect Drew Brees up the middle. And honestly, Optimus, I don't feel like there should be an excuse why they can't. I mean, we've seen teams expose this type of offense. I mean, this type of offensive line play time after time again. We've seen it against the Falcons. We've seen it against the Minnesota Vikings. I mean, we even seen it last week against the Raiders. The Saints have to find ways to try to make sure that these offensive guards be able to protect Drew Brees, rather it's Drew Brees getting the ball out of his hands more quickly, or the fact that, you got to start implementing more rollouts. But that's the biggest concern here, Optimus. Will Drew Brees
can't roll out and take a hit? He can't take a hit. He take a hit, he done. So that's the problem. And it's like, I mean, all the Saints fans know it. Like Drew Brees, this probably, like we all know, gonna be his last year. And it's just, it's sad that it's come down to this. But I mean, we know Sean Payton is a great head coach. He's a great offensive play caller. He just needs to go dig deep and figure out a way to win, because I mean, he was able to get Drew the help he needed to have him sustain this success this long. I still have faith in Sean Payton. Everybody want to talk about Brees and Sean Payton and this, that, and the other, but I feel like, I mean, it's week 2. Now, if we saying this, week 6 or whatever, then yeah, obviously something got to go.
Good point.
But I mean, I just feel like I feel like we're in a position where we know we transitioning, and it's like we don't want to tell our hand as far as like what we gonna do in the future.
Right. I mean, good point, Optimus. Man, true words never said. I mean, if we're having these same type of issues week 6, then maybe we need to go in a different direction. But week 2, we're definitely not in panic mode. I do feel like, this still can, they still can right the ship. I mean, we seen this story before, right? Saints go 1-1. Everybody like, oh man, what we gonna do? And all of a sudden, I'm saying they go on this winning streak. I'm not saying that this might happen this year.
They hop back on the bandwagon.
Yeah, things happen from year to year, but I mean, I just think that people think because of COVID-19, because of no off-season activities, they felt like the New Orleans Saints would be able to take advantage of that due to the fact that they had the same usual suspects, but they weren't taking into account. Even though they have the same usual suspects, it's about shaking some of that rust off. So yeah, Optimus. But hey,
let me ask you this question real quick, TJ.
Go ahead, man.
So if we eight weeks in, if we under 500, do you think we tank?
No.
No.
I think this team has way too much pride to be tanking. Like if this was maybe the Cincinnati Bengals or something like that, or even one of these other teams that like the Detroit Lions, I feel like they may be in tank mode. But I feel like the Saints with Sean Payton, they have way too much pride. But I don't feel like this is going to be like one of those situations where the Saints won't be a formidable opponent or even be threatened for a playoff spot. It may not be a 1 seed because me personally, right now, I feel like the Seattle Seahawks are the best team in NFC right now. But if we're talking about like trying to get a playoff spot, I still see the Saints week 14, week 15 being in playoff position. But Optimus, look, I got to ask you about this, man. Atlanta Falcons losing for the second straight week. Your thoughts on that, man?
I'm gonna throw you a curveball. I'm not surprised. I think Dan Quinn need to keep his job because there ain't nobody gonna be challenging us with all that talent. So they're doing great. Keep up the good work. That's how I feel.
Hey, I feel the same way. I like when Who That Davis, he was the last caller before you. When he said
we got
that,
a three-team division.
Thank you. I was saying the same thing. Keep up the good work. I was thinking that in my head, but I try to keep it as fair as I possibly can. But Optimus Grind, hey man, we having a show afterwards, man. Feel free to call back for the post-game show, brother.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna let you know.
All right, man. Take it easy, man. Who that? Optimus Grind, man. And shouts out to him, man. Great take on that. Great take. Let me go to Chanel real quick. Chanel says, I'm sorry, but I'm stop comparing Tom Brady to Drew Brees to Patrick Mahomes and Lamar Jackson. They're playing the same position, but not in age. They are the new age quarterbacks. 24 and 43 is two different ages, period. Just my opinion. We're going to disagree to agree. Criticism is the best medicine. Just my take. Who that? Chanel, man, shouts out to Chanel, man. Always going hard for Drew. Always going hard for the Who That Nation. Look, I'm not comparing them. I'm not comparing Drew Brees to Tom Brady. What I am comparing is the ability to trust your quarterback. Trust your wide receivers. Tom Brady seemed like he trusts all his receivers. Drew Brees looked like he just trusts a handful of receivers. You know what I'm saying? And one of them just so happened to do not be a receiver in Alvin Kamara. And I feel like that's kind of hindering the Saints, their offensive growth, because he doesn't want to put the ball in harm's way, or he doesn't want to try to go out here and try to make these wide receivers, be aggressive and try to get these passes. Tom Brady, he'll put the ball in harm's way. We'll talk about, oh, man, he threw a pick. But I can respect the hell out of a quarterback if he threw a pick, trying to make sure that his receivers try to make plays and put them in a position to try to do something for the team. Drew Brees, sometimes I just feel like he doesn't want to do that. He just wants to focus mostly on trying to be efficient. And that's my biggest issue with that. Chosen, what's going on, man?
Well, what's good, TJ, man? What's going on? Who that?
Man, who that, man? We talking Green Bay, New Orleans tonight, man. What you got for me?
Yeah, man. Well, I feel like if we start off pretty quick, how we did last week against the Raiders, we came out fighting, we showed a little aggression, and we got up. I think we got a little too relaxed after we got up 17, and then Sean Payton want to get fancy and keep Drew throwing his arm. Like, nah, man, throw the ball when we need to throw the ball. I feel like this game, we get up to an early start, we find some kind of way, whether they got 7, 8 guys in the box, we find some kind of way to maintain that time of possession. Right. Man, we know we drain a lot of time off the clock with those screen passes, but like you say, they dinking and dunking. We running out time. We killing time against our own self, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? We fighting against ourselves with the time versus being up and playing keep away from the other team. So I feel like that, man. And another few points you made, man, about, I know we all say we start off bad every year, but I'm like you, man. I don't get those same kind of 8, 9, 10 game win streak vibes this year, bro.
Yeah,
the last few years, even one year I think we started off 0-2, and we just went on a tear. This season, I feel like it's a lot of rust and a lot of making up to do, and a lot of adjustments need to be made before we see those kind of streaks. I'm not saying it's not gonna happen, but I just don't see it happening how it happened the last few years. But I think we're gonna be okay. With that being said, man, I feel like Drew Brees needs to just block out the noise and like you say, trust his receivers, man. Let those guys make plays. I mean, they on the team for something. Sean Payton ain't got them out there for nothing. Trust these guys and hell, I'd rather us fall short of him trying to do the right thing than us living when. What if he would have made that 50-yard pass? What if he would have made that 40-yard pass? We can't live with us, man. We just got to live by it, die about it. I mean, this season not going to change his Hall of Fame introduction or whatever. It's not going to determine. This season here, it's not going to say, well, damn, Drew Brees could get him to the promised land. He's not a great. We all going to have our opinions whether he go or not, So, like you said, he want to leave no stones unturned. Then now it's time to prove us. Throw the ball. Get it down there. I mean, go for the big ones, go for the big yards. It's funny how we had that problem of not running the ball, with throwing the ball too much down the field to now we can't throw it at all. It's funny how, it kind of swapped. We used to say we need to run the ball more. Now it's, damn, we can't even run the ball. Now we have to throw it. You know what I'm saying? So it just goes to show you how things could change, man. And I think the defense going to step up, man. I think the defense going to step up. Hopefully, I hear Devontae Adams is out. Hopefully, Marshawn Lattimore still could be find some type of motivation or hype to shut down whoever he's guarding. I mean, you got to have that mentality every week. So everybody just need to step up. I feel like everything will come together. No preseason games or nothing like that. But I feel like these games, we won one, and we see what we need to do, and we lost one. We see what we need to do. So maybe we need to just go back, compare the two, put all the positives together, put all the negatives together, and let's try to move forward, man. Let's try to make a run, because we know this is what it is right here, man. This probably our best shot we're gonna have, and probably for years to come, we need to just buckle down and get serious, take it one game at a time. Leave all that Super Bowl or bust mentality. We just need to leave that out the window, and we need to have a week, game every week, you know what I'm saying, or bust kind of mentality. We need to take it one game at a time. Everybody needs to be treated with that same respect, So I just felt like we just need to keep on being humble and doing what we got to do, man. We can't get ahead of ourselves.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with what you're saying. You said, I know you mentioned about the wide receivers, and they're not out there for nothing. But as of right now, Chosen, they are out there for nothing, and that's the biggest issue that's been plaguing the Saints. And the fact that not enough play calls are being called for these guys. These guys are basically just decoys. I talk about like the electronic football table where you had that one electronic football player just going around in a circle. That's what I look at with some of these wide receivers. Like utilize some of these guys. Why are they on your team if you're not going to use them? Nobody looks at them as being threats. I guarantee you the Green Bay Packers are going to look at that game film and they're going to be like, well, let's just double cover Tre'Quan Smith and let these other guys beat us. And we all know that Drew Brees, if Tre'Quan Smith is his ex or his number one option on that particular play, which he is because he's taken up the majority of Michael Thomas's snaps, we know that Michael Thomas is the number one option probably like 75, 80% of the time. You take him away, all of a sudden he's going to put that C on his chest, and that C stands for Captain Checkdown. He's going to try to check it down to Latavius Murray. He's going to try to check it down to Alvin Kamara, and he's going to try to check it down to the tight end or anybody else that's close in their vicinity. So
right, man.
Get these other guys involved. That's my only point. Get those other guys involved.
Right, and real quick, man, another point, listening to you say that, man, it makes me think about something. If you go back, man, and if you go back to the games we played, and when we do get torched, it don't be by like, it's very often it's by a household name, man. We get torched by Billy Joe from down the street, little dude from across the street. Like they light us up, and we don't ever see it coming because I don't think in film session we don't put as much emphasis as we do on a Julio or Odell or or Stephon Diggs. I feel like we take those guys for granted, and we can't do that. Like the very thing that we don't use, other teams do, and it kills us, man. Like we get torched by guys we never heard of.
Yep, and that's the frustrating. That's the frustrating part, Chosen. That's the frustrating part because you watch Marshawn have a lights out performance against Mike Evans, and then he turns around and gets beat by Brandon Edwards. And no disrespect to Brandon Edwards, I'm out here in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, so he went to South Carolina. I've watched this guy play. He's a really good wide receiver, but to say that he's where he's going to be is laughable right now. And you should be able to win that matchup versus a rookie. So that's the frustrated part. But Chosen, let's go ahead, man. Let's talk about these Atlanta Falcons. Atlanta Falcons losing yet another big lead. Man, losing a game for the second week in a row, man. Your thoughts.
At this point, TJ, man, I got to give it up to him, man. Atlanta is the GOAT of choking, man. I feel like when you have GOAT or they make memes with anything choking, just put this Falcons logo or emblem somewhere, man. And now I feel like now they giving teams pretty much a game plan to beat them. Right. Hey, how about we just let the Falcons go up in the fourth quarter? And we're gonna come back. Like we're gonna come back. It's like it's laughable, man. At this point, bro, on the serious note, I don't know what they're gonna do with that coach. I don't know if I don't know if it's in the water. I don't know if everybody got COVID and the whole team needs to be on injury reserve. Somebody doing something in Atlanta, man. I don't know what's popping, man. I don't know, man.
I mean, Dan Quinn, man. I mean, I think his goose is pretty much cooked here. You know, like I mean, he basically we basically on Quinn watch right now. You know, if he keeps his job for another week, it would be nothing short of a miracle. But Chosen, thank you so much, man. I appreciate it, man. Call back anytime, my brother.
Appreciate it, brother.
All right, man. Take care. All right, man. We're gonna go to Zordy 504, man. Zordy, what's going on, man?
Hey, man. What's up, TJ?
Man, nothing much, man.
I gotta start off with a who that, bro. You already know I got the hat on, I got the jersey on. Yeah, but man, I do agree with what you've been saying, bro, about Drew Brees. Like his arm does not look like the 2009 Drew Brees. He has been dinking and dunking. Alvin Kamara was really the only good thing for us last week on offense. Him and Traquan, I can't forget about him.
Yeah, good.
I do feel like Aaron Jones is not only a threat in the run game, but I feel like they're going to try to incorporate him more in the passing game. And that's going to be something that they're going to have to look out for, especially with how Darren Waller beat us last week. Right. And I feel like we could stop the run because it's been like, 42 games since we gave up a 100-yard rusher? So it's not us stuffing the run. It's just us getting pressure on the quarterback and our secondary not getting beat as much as they was last week.
Right. Yeah, man. I think that, Aaron Jones is definitely an X factor, especially Devontae Adams being out. I'm looking at the chat right now. They're saying that he's out. But, I'm only saying that because I'm trusting what the chat is saying. Aaron Jones is going to be that X factor, the same way with Alvin Kamara being the X factor for the Saints. And what you have right now are two guys that teams really depend on to be successful in a running game as well as in a passing game. So this is going to be like one of those games where it seems like to me offensively they're almost like mirrors to each other. Your primary receiver is out. Your running back is a guy that can run between the tackles and catch out of the backfield. The only thing is about it is I just feel like with the Green Bay Packers drawing the ball down the field, Zordy, do you feel like the Green Bay Packers are going to try to throw the ball down the field and hope that the Saints secondary, the cornerbacks, make a mistake? I mean, 129 yards last week, 104 yards week one in penalties total. Okay, and the majority of those penalties came off pass interference. Do you think that the Saints secondary are going to be able to clean that up? And what do you think about that?
I do, because if you look at the history, we don't have too many games like that back to back. Like we'll have an off game, but bounce right back the next week. Not saying that Aaron Rodgers won't make plays. I expect him to make plays, and I absolutely do believe that he's going to try to bomb it. Because if I'm the Packers, I'm looking at the film on last week and seeing how we got beat, and I'm gonna send Lazard. I'm gonna send Aaron Jones over the middle because the middle was wide open all the time, no matter who was there. And I feel like they're gonna try to take that same approach, and like you said, feel like they're gonna try to get out early and test Drew Brees to actually throw the ball. And that's what we can't allow to happen. We have to get out early like we did last week. We did a good job in it. Like I think we was up like 17 points. But like one of your callers came on and said, we just got lazy on offense. We just thought we had the game in the bag, and they end up catching up and they took the game from us.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, they definitely can't make the same mistake twice. I feel like complacency is a big issue with the New Orleans Saints, but that goes with the coaching. Like you got to make sure that these guys are game every single down, every single day, and make sure that these guys are, like they focus. I feel like that's the issue. That's Zordy. That separates the good team from the great teams. That's the reason why I can't just come out here and just say, as much as I love the New Orleans Saints, that they're not a great team. Great teams win games. They do not play down to their competition. They don't just wait till Julio come to town. They don't wait till Odell come to town or Mike Evans or a big name receiver or a big name running back in order for them to play up. And everybody is singing the praises of that opposing team that's coming to town. Great teams show up when they're going up against Brandon Edwards, Hunter Renfrow, so many other guys that nobody even heard of. Those are what great teams do. Okay, that's what they do. You know what I'm saying? They show up in those type of situations. So that's the way I feel about it. You cannot say that you're a great team and you out there getting work, okay, by middle of the pack wide receivers and middle of the pack tight ends, making these guys household names. How many times as Saints fans have we seen this type of stuff go down? How many times? How many times have we seen a Sam Bradford come to town? How many times have we seen a Kirk Cousins come to town? How many times have we seen a Jared Goff or a Case Keenum come to town and make these guys, put these guys on a map when we know for a fact that we are the better team? I'm just tired of saying that. I'm tired of hearing and tired of saying, oh, the Saints beat themselves. Sometimes you got to look at the fact and say, man, okay, why are they beating themselves? Why are they doing it? Why are they doing it? So great teams beat the teams they should beat, be competitive against the teams that are formidable, and let the best team win. But when you're losing to teams that you are better than, teams that are just trying to figure it out, and honestly, you are the reason why this team ends up rallying around each other. Like, look at the Raiders lost today, but think about how good they felt beating a team that everybody is saying is a Super Bowl contender. You should not lose to teams like that. You look at the New England Patriots. New England Patriots, let's just be honest, folks, they don't have the same type of talent that the New Orleans Saints have on offense or defense, but they found a way to win. That is what great teams do. That's what great coaches do. Right now, I can't say the Saints are a great football team. They're good. They're formidable. They got potential, but not great. But that's all we have right now for the pregame show of the State of the Saints podcast. I will be back after the game, immediately following the game, for the post-game show. Thank you all very much for tuning in. I really do appreciate that. I will have a halftime video for you all. Won't be as long as this pregame show, but it'll probably be a few minutes, man, talking about what I saw in the first half, the adjustments that need to be made. Thank you all very much. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel, youtube.com, search The State of the Saints Podcast, facebook.com, search The State of the Saints Podcast. Previous episodes available on iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio.com. Thank you all so much. And don't forget to make sure that you snapshot you following the State of the Saints podcast on a streaming app like Apple Podcasts, iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Anchor FM, because tonight we're going to announce the winner that will receive a State of the Saints podcast face mask right here, okay? This is from maskmarket.com, the official sponsor of the State of the Saints podcast. Somebody is about to win this mask, okay? And it could be you. All you have to do is snapshot a picture of you following the State of the Saints podcast, and you put yourself in a running. My wife is home. No excuses right now. I'm going to let her, around the third quarter, announce the winner that will receive this face mask. So make sure that you go ahead and snapshot those pictures. You can go to facebook.com, search The State of the Saints podcast, inbox me, or you can go to State of Saints on Twitter and direct message me, or you can go to stateofthesaints@gmail.com and send me an email. Send me those pictures, folks. You'll put yourself in a running to win a State of the Saints podcast mask, courtesy of maskmarket.com, the sponsor of the State of the Saints podcast. Thank you all very much. Good luck to the New Orleans Saints. Hope it'll be a good game. Hopefully nobody has to break their television or be sent to the hospital because their blood pressure got high. And like always, all I got to say is, who dat?